Hi guys, in today's lesson, we're going to be multiplying numbers in scientific notation. So let's start by going over this warm-up. So for our first problem in the warm-up, we want to multiply 5 to the third power times 5 to the fifth power. So when we're multiplying exponents that have the same base, we keep the base and we add the exponents. So this is 5 to the third plus fifth power, which simplifies to 5 to the eighth power. For our second problem in the warm-up, we have 7 to the second power times 7 to the 11th power. So because we are multiplying exponential terms that have the same base, we keep the base and we add the exponents. So we take 2 plus 11 and add those together. So we get 7 to the 13th power. So the reason why we went over problems like this for the warm-up is because we're going to have to use this law of exponents where we're multiplying powers with the same base while we are multiplying numbers that are in scientific notation, and you'll see how that's going to work. So in this first example, we are going to be multiplying 4 times 10 to the fourth power times 2 times 10 to the third power. There are two ways that I can multiply these numbers. I can rewrite the numbers in standard form. So 4 times 10 to the fourth power is the same as 40,000. And 2 times 10 to the third power is the same as 2,000. So 40,000 times 2,000, if I plug that into a calculator, gives me 80 million. Now, sometimes, depending on how large the number is, rewriting the number in standard form and then multiplying is going to be extremely difficult. Sometimes your calculator won't even be that straightforward with giving you what the answer is because it can't fit all the digits. So we can multiply the numbers without changing them into standard form. We can multiply the numbers the way they are in scientific notation. So I'm going to erase this for now. Just remember that this is equal to 80 million, which if we rewrite 80 million in scientific notation, what we should get by the end of this is 8 times 10 to the seventh power. So when we're multiplying numbers in scientific notation, what we want to do first is multiply the leading numbers. What I mean by leading numbers is multiply that number that's in front of your exponential term. So we're going to start by doing 4 times 2, and 4 times 2 gives us 8. So when we multiply our leading numbers, 4 times 2, we get 8. Then for our second step, we're going to multiply our exponent terms. So our exponent terms are 10 to the fourth power and 10 to the third power. So we're going to do 10 to the fourth power times 10 to the third power. We're going to have to keep the base and add the exponents since we're multiplying two exponent terms that have the same base, which gives us 10 to the seventh power. And then we want to write our answer in proper scientific notation. So we're literally just going to take our new leading term that we got from step 1 times the new exponent term that we got from step 2. And we see that we just have one digit and our digit is less than 10. So we know that this is proper scientific notation. So this is our answer, which matches what I said the answer would be if we had rewritten this in standard form and then multiplied it and then put the answer back in scientific notation. So instead of doing all of that, trying to rewrite all of our numbers in scientific notation in standard form, and then multiplying and then writing back in scientific notation, you can multiply the leading numbers, multiply your exponent terms, and then write that answer together in scientific notation. Let's look at example 2. So for example 2, we're going to start out the same. We are going to multiply our leading numbers, which I'm underlining in blue. So 3 times 3 will give us 9 when we multiply our leading numbers. Then we're going to multiply our exponent terms. So we're going to multiply 10 to the 7th power times 10 to the 8th power. So you'll keep the base and add the exponents. So you'll get 10 to the 15th power. And then for your last step, you'll take that leading term that you got from step 1 times your new exponent term, which you calculated in step 2, and that is your answer. So when we multiply 3 times 10 to the 7th power times 3 times 10 to the 8th power, we get 9 times 10 to the 15th power. Now example 3 and example 4 are a little bit different than the first two examples. Let's start with example 3. So for example 3, we are doing 8 times 10 to the 5th power times 7 times 10 to the 6th power. So for the first step, we want to multiply our leading numbers. So we're going to do 8 times 7, and 8 times 7 gives us 56. Now when we multiply our leading numbers here, we're getting something that's 2 digits instead of 1 digit. That's going to affect what we have to do in step 3 for this problem. So we've multiplied our leading numbers. We got 56 for that new leading number. Now we need to multiply our exponent terms. So I'm going to multiply 10 to the 5th power times 10 to the 6th power. We keep the base and add the exponents. So our new exponent term is 10 to the 11th power. Now when we go to write our answer, we take our new leading term times our new exponent term. But for something to be written in proper scientific notation, there can only be 1 digit before the decimal in the leading term. It has to be 1 digit in the tens place for the leading term, no matter how many other digits come after the decimal. So I'm going to have to rewrite this so that it's in proper scientific notation. We don't see a decimal here, but we know that 56 would have a decimal at the end of that number. And to rewrite this into proper scientific notation, I'm going to have to move that decimal 1 place to the left so that I have a new decimal here. Now, because I moved the digit 1 place to the left, I need to add 1 to my exponent for my exponent term. And that's going to make my actual answer 5.6 times 10 to the 12th power. Now let's do that again with example 4. So example 4, we want to multiply 5 times 10 to the 12th power by 3.38 times 10 to the 6th power. So we'll start by multiplying our leading terms. We're going to take 5 and multiply that by 3.38. And 5 times 3.38 gives us 16.9. So our new leading number is 16.9. And then we need to multiply our exponent terms. So I'm going to multiply 10 to the 12th power times 10 to the 6th power. So we'll keep the base and add the exponents. So our new exponent term is going to be 10 to the 18th power. And then to write this in scientific notation, we have 16.9 times 10 to the 18th power. But because I need to move this decimal so that it's in proper scientific notation, I'm moving it 1 space because proper scientific notation has 1 digit in front of the decimal place that is greater than or equal to 0, but less than 10. So my new decimal will be between 1 and 6. So I'm going to rewrite all of those digits with the new decimal between 1 and 6. So I have 1.69, and because I moved it one space, I need to add 1 to my exponent. So it'll be 1.69 times 10 to the 19th power. And that is our final answer. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.